Thanks to Cleanfox for sponsoring a portion of this video. LED, QLED, OLED, mini LED, micro RGB, micro LED. If you are confused about all the different types of TVs out there, I get it. I've been reviewing TVs for years, and these acronyms still make me want to throw something at the wall. But I want to explain every TV technology you'll actually encounter in terms that will not make your brain hurt. This is basically your master cheat sheet for TV buying. So whether you're trying to figure out what all those letters mean, you just want to know what's sort of actually worth your hard-earned money, I've got you covered. I'm gonna cruise quickly through the old tech so you can focus on what you can actually buy today, plus some crazy new TV tech that's just like hitting the market. All right, so for TV enthusiasts out there, I'm keeping this pretty accessible. I'm not diving into really technical weeds here. If you do want me to go deeper on any of this stuff, let me know in the comments. I will make that version of this video. And if you do want to jump straight to specific technology I'm going to talk about, there'll be chapters down below so you can skip around. Okay, so to understand where we are and where we're going, we gotta know where we've been with TVs. And honestly, where we've been is kind of embarrassing. We had CRT TVs that weighed more than a small car. Then came rear projection TVs that are basically 3 light cannons in a giant box. We had plasma TVs that used tiny pockets of electrified gas to make pictures. And plasma was actually pretty great with perfect blacks and great colors. The industry killed it off when it was getting good. I don't know, because apparently we can't have nice things. But the real turning point was LCD technology, sort of where modern TV history begins. LCD panels are basically sophisticated light filters made up of millions of tiny little shutters that can just open and close. But here's the thing, LCDs can't make their own light. So you need to shine sort of a backlight to shine through all those layers. Enter LED backlighting. These LED TVs were a massive improvement. They were way thinner, used way less power, lasted longer, and can get much brighter than the old fluorescent systems. Most LED TVs today use what's called edge-lit or direct-lit backlighting. You'll see those terms everywhere. Edge-lit means the LEDs are around the edge of the screen, shining inward, which keeps the TV usually pretty thin, but does create uneven lighting. Direct-lit puts LEDs across the entire back of the panel, which gives even more lighting, but does make them a little bit thicker. Either way, you're getting a display that's usually affordable, reliable, and perfect for most people's needs. You can get a decent 65-inch LED for under $500. It'll probably last you a decade. But Samsung wasn't satisfied with just making better backlights. They wanted to reinvent color itself, them with Sony, but led to QLED technology. Now the Q stands for quantum dots. I know it sounds like something from like a sci-fi show, but they're actually tiny nanoparticles that grow incredibly efficiently when you shine light on them. Samsung started putting these between the LED backlight and the LCD panel, creating what's essentially a color enhancement layer. And the difference is pretty dramatic. So where regular LED TVs might cover, say, 70% of the color space that high-end content's designed for, QLED TVs can hit 90% or more. Plus, they can get stupidly bright. We're talking 4,000 nits or more on the high end. And for context, most content is mastered in 100 nits, at least for SDR. So we're talking about displays that are literally 40 times brighter than they need to be. And it's completely overkill, and I love it. If you have a bright room with lots of windows or just want your TV to sort of assault your eyeballs with like pure visual intensity, QLED delivers. You'll pay more than a basic LED TV, but the color and brightness improvements I think are really big. While all this LCD innovation was happening, there was another group of engineers working on a completely different approach. Instead of trying to make backlights better, they asked a simple question. What if we didn't need the backlight at all? And that led to OLED. So OLED stands for Organic Light Emitting Diode, and each pixel is like essentially, think of it like a tiny light bulb that can turn completely on or completely off. When something needs to be black on an OLED, the pixel just shuts off entirely. No backlight bleeding, no compromises, just perfect black because it's off. But OLED's advantages go way beyond the blacks. The colors are also incredibly accurate because each pixel is producing its own pure light instead of filtering sort of white light through layers. The viewing angles are perfect because there's no backlight directionality shining through the panel, and the whole thing can be impossibly thin. Some OLED TVs are literally thinner than smartphones. And OLED's been dominating like the best TV awards for over a decade because you're watching movies in a dark room. Honestly, nothing else comes close. The contrast is infinite, the motion handling is excellent, and the overall picture quality is usually stunning, but there are trade-offs. OLEDs don't typically get as bright as LED TVs. Most top out around 1,000 nits compared to the potentially 4,000 plus for some QLED sets. They generally cost more than comparable LED models too, and there's always this kind of lingering concern about burn-in if you leave a static image on screen for an extended period of time, although modern OLEDs are way better about this than early ones. I want to take a quick break from talking about displays, talk about something that I guarantee was cluttered and can be fixed, and that is your email inbox. You know it's a mess, and how this video sponsor Cleanfox take care of all that for you. So if you're anything like me, your inbox probably has, I'm guessing, thousands of unread emails just sitting there. Things like newsletters you signed up for years ago, promotion emails from like that one purchase in 2019. But here's the thing, there's a surprisingly simple solution. You probably guess what it is, and I've been testing it out. Cleanfox is the #1 email and spam cleaner worldwide with over 5 million active users, and the app is completely free, works on iOS, Android, or right in your web browser. Cleanfox made it really easy too. You can connect your email account, whether it's Gmail, Yahoo if you use that, Outlook, whatever you're using, and Cleanfox scans it all. It finds all your newsletter subscriptions and spam emails and puts them in an easy list. Then I think the genius part comes next. I don't know how to describe it. They make it kind of like Tinder for your inbox. You just swipe to decide what to do with each subscription. Delete and unsubscribe, keep the subscription, but delete old emails or keep everything. Literally just swipe one way or the other. I set it up earlier and it was very cathartic watching thousands of emails disappear in seconds. It's oddly satisfying. Plus, Cleanfox does handle your data anonymously and never sells your personal information to third parties. Again, completely free. So there's no risk to you. You can find the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen right now. Clean up your inbox, get rid of the spam. I guarantee it that you will thank me later. All right, back to TVs. But OLED, like I said, it wasn't perfect, and the LCD camp was not about to give up. So OLED couldn't get as bright as LED TVs, plus they were expensive, so LCD tech and engineers started doubling down on their core advantages, and that was brightness and affordability. The next evolution was mini LED. Traditional LED TVs might have a few dozen dimming zones. Those are areas where the backlight can get brighter or darker independently. Mini LED TVs have thousands of these zones. Instead of crude backlighting that affects large chunks of the screen, you get incredibly precise light control. And the result, if you've ever seen a mini LED, is dramatically better contrast. Much less that annoying blooming you get around bright objects on dark backgrounds, and local dimming that is so precise, it can almost rival OLED's performance in a ton of situations. And you take mini LED and combine that with quantum dots, and it kind of represents, at least what I thought was the peak of LCD technology. These displays can get brighter than OLED. The colors are fantastic thanks to the quantum dots enhancement some of them have. And the local dimming is so good, you get most of OLED's contrast benefits without the burn-in concerns. They're also generally more durable and can handle bright rooms better than OLED can. The downside is they're expensive. Premium mini LEDs often cost as much or more than some OLED models. And for a while, it looked like this might be like the end game. Like OLED for dark room, mini LED for everything else. But then 2025 threw a curveball with some generally new technologies. And before I kind of dive into the crazy stuff that just launched, I should mention there are other emerging technologies that are coming, things like MicroLED displays and OLED that you might hear about, but they're not likely to see them in the market really anytime soon, or at least in mass availability. And what you can actually encounter right now though is pretty wild. Samsung just dropped something called Micro RGB that costs $30,000 for a TV. And instead of using quantum dots or color filters, they're using individual red, green, and blue LEDs that are smaller than the width of a human hair. The result is the first consumer TV to hit 100% of the BT 2020 color standard, which is basically perfect color representation. The catch, it's only available in 115 inches for the price of a decent car, but Samsung insists it represents the future of LCD tech, and honestly, the color performance unlike anything that we've seen before. And in all fairness, a lot of the content that's out there is not kind of even close to being able to be shown on anything, but it's an example of the technology leading the way before the content. So what's even more insane is what Hisense just announced. And I know I said that MicroLED is not widely available, but this is the one exception, but a huge caveat here. They have a MicroLED TV for consumers. Not micro RGB, not mini LED, but again, genuine micro LED, where each pixel is its own microscopic LED. And this technology, everyone's been saying, will replace both LCD and OLED. We've seen it in Samsung's wall TVs, but those are very niche and very expensive. It promises OLED level contrast and zero burning concerns because it uses inorganic LEDs instead of organic compounds. Hisense's 136-inch TV, so there was a caveat, wait till I get to price, claims 10,000 nits of brightness and 95% BT 2020 color coverage. That's basically enough to damage your eyes from across the room, but it's gonna cost you $150,000. So technically this technology is available, but it's also like not really available. But why this matters is because we're watching kind of the birth of the next generation display technology happen in real time. What costs 30 grand today will cost 3 grand in 5 years from now and be available in normal sizes. The crazy expensive prototype TVs of today obviously become the mainstream options of tomorrow. So here's the bottom line after following this entire journey from tube TVs to $30,000 or $150,000 TVs. We've gone from having basically one option to having too many options. And somehow it's both amazing and very overwhelming if you're walking around Best Buy looking for a TV. If you are shopping right now, here's what actually matters. For most people, a good LED TV is gonna blow your mind compared to what you've had or even 5 years ago. So if you wanna step up, QLED will give you colors I think so vibrant to make your old TV look broken. If you're ready to go full premium, OLED will ruin every other display type for you. Once you see OLED, it's hard to go back after you've seen those perfect blacks. And if you want to flex with the absolute best LCD tech that money can buy, broadly available right now, mini LED can deliver incredible brightness with sort of contrast that rivals OLED. And I think what's fun about covering TV is to see the technologies change every few years. It's crazy expensive now, it's gonna be mainstream relatively soon. And that's the thing about the TV industry. Just when you think they've kind of figured it all out, they kind of reinvent everything. 20 years ago, the idea of a paper-thin display with perfect blacks would have sounded absolutely science fiction. Now it's just whatever your Tuesday sale at Best Buy. Whatever you end up buying, you're getting display technology that would have been impossible a few years ago. Even the budget options are technological marvels. But don't spend $30,000 on a TV. I don't care how good the colors are, that is ridiculous. I hope this helped you decode the alphabet soup that kind of is modern TV shopping. Drop a comment if you got questions or want me to dive deeper into any of this tech. Or if you think I'm wrong about something too, that happens also. And if this saved you from sort of standing confused in front of a wall of screens at a store, that like button, subscribe button are right there as a way to say thank you. I appreciate you guys, I love covering TVs. Ton more to come. See you guys next time.